Hi, my name is Laura Guthrie and I'm the on-site trainer here at Golden Quest. Today I have with me George, Tattoo KG2. George is a 5-month-old comfort retriever here from Golden Quest, who's right now having a little bit of a puppy spaz, but he's been in training for almost 2 weeks now. So we're going to show you what he's been learning. If he goes up to it, George, come. Hi, buddy, good boy. Yeah. Yeah, you big silly butt. You big silly butt. Yeah. Yeah. He really likes the place, but don't you, bud? George, come here. Good boy, sit. Yes, good, sit. You stay. Now. Is your friend talking out there? Yeah. That's our friend Angel, and she's talking. She is. You stay. Yes. Good. Yeah, is that how it is? Down. Yes, good boy. Well done. Good boy. You stay. Oh, now, do I need to pick that up, sir? Is that just too much fun? I think it looks like too much fun. Someone likes it. George, come here. George. Georgie Porgy. Yeah. Georgie Porgy. Oh, I just took up your favorite thing in the world. Horrible person. Good, down. Stay. Yes. Good boy. Yes. George, stand. What are you doing? He just realized his bed's gone. You stand. Yes. Good. You gonna eat it? Are you gonna eat it? No? That's okay. You don't have to. George, why are you being silly? Hi. George, touch. Yes, good boy. Good job, Pumpkin. You don't have to have treats if you don't want to. And sometimes they don't want to work for treats. That's perfectly fine. You want to work on place now since you love that so much? Place. Yeah. Yeah. George. George. It was just the heat came on. Come on, buddy. Come here. You big dorko, you being silly. Yeah. What are you doing, silly guy? Good boy. Yes. Good job. George, free. 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 Come here. George. Are you just too distracted by that heat? Are you making weird noises? Well, your tongue's out, sir. Good boy. Good boy. You silly. Probably should put that up, otherwise somebody's gonna get distracted by it, right, bud? George, what are you doing? Georgie Porgy, come here, baby. That's right, that's my little buddy. George, good boy. Where are you going? George. Good boy. We're feeling a bit off today, aren't we? My goodness. Yes, we are. We're being very alert, very aware of everything. Come on. Good. Yes. Good heel. Good boy. That's right. I see your reflection too. Come on. Let's go this way. Come on. George. George, come on. Yes. Good boy. Okay, okay, shh. George, what are you doing, bud? Let me get in position so I can help you. George. Yes, good boy. There you go. Yes. Come on. So the leash has been a big challenge for us. He's just now getting to the point where he doesn't entirely get upset by the leash. It's completely normal. Some puppies just don't really like the leash. It spooks them a bit, and for different reasons. It could be because one, it looks like a snake. Two, it's just something weird that dangles between you and the person, and it's just weird for them. But some dogs, it does take them a little bit of time to get more acclimated to the idea of the leash being between you. So on typical days, he does do decently when he's healing off leash. It's just he's still in the stage where he needs to have motivation via food. You need to have some nice food motivation for him right there to help kind of guide him to stay in that position with you. So that's still something we're working on, because he just gets, like you've seen, very easily distracted in the beginning until he gets more comfortable. He is very aware of his surroundings, but that'll fade as well once he gets more confident and comfortable and adjusted. So that's nothing to be overly concerned about at this stage, just keeping everything very positive. Like you saw, I wasn't pushing him to heel, I wasn't going to pull him, I wasn't going to force him to do stuff he didn't want to do. When he got hung up on his reflection, I just kind of prompted him by readjusting him to try and get his reflection out of his head, that way he wasn't overly distracted by it, and that kind of stuff. He's a good little boy, and it's just going to take a little bit of extra TLC in his training to get him up to where his potential is, just because a lot of that is going to come from your bonding. And right here, you know, there's multiple training dogs for me, but at home it's going to be you and your dog. So having that bonding time is going to build trust between you. When you have clear and consistent communication with them, not just through obedience, but just through general manners and the family time in general, building up that bond with them helps a lot, because they begin to trust you a lot, and when they trust you, they know that you're there to keep them safe, so they are more apt to becoming comfortable and listening to you and that sort of thing. Whereas some days with him, sometimes we have to spend a little bit of our training cuddling, honestly, because he needs to kind of just bond with me for a second before we can get into me asking him to do a bunch of stuff that seems really weird to him, you know. So he does love carrying things in his mouth a lot. And he's not overly keen on sharing sometimes when it comes to other dogs. He'll try to run around with it and run away like that, like he's going to take off the leash. Did you get the leash? George. And right now, even though typically I wouldn't encourage this behavior, I'm encouraging it with him because he used to be afraid of the leash, and I don't want that. And now, yay! What is it? Did you get something? I want him to think that it's something fun to be had. Yes, you look great with that in your mouth, as you do. Mwah. As you look beautiful. You do. You look very handsome. Look at that retriever. Are you going to get that? You're carrying that, you little Stevie. You little Shirley. So, a lot of what we've been working on is foundational. It's just me showing him how some of the ropes works in terms of listening to humans and trying to teach him how to be open to learning and that sort of stuff. He's been shown how to get into positions that we call sit, we call down and stand and that kind of stuff. He does still struggle with the crate, and that's perfectly normal because he's been used to spending the night with his litter mates. You know, since he was put on this earth, he was with his litter mates. So it's a big adjustment for him. And it's going to continue to be. It's just going to be all about the adjustment process for all of you. Him learning how to be part of the family and learning where he fits, and you guys learning where he fits for you as well. So I definitely wish he had some more time to keep working, but I definitely am excited at the idea that he's going to be coming home for you guys for Christmas. And not just that, but also because it allows him to work with you guys. And that's the most important part, is for this training to transfer over and you guys be able to work with him and continue it as a family. Because the whole training aspect is also a bonding part to your relationship too. Because it teaches you guys how to listen to each other and how to work with each other, because you have to manipulate how you're teaching him something in order for him to understand it easier. And vice versa. He's going to have to try to understand what you're asking him to do when you're, telling him to sit and you're showing him a hand and you're using your hands to mold his body and that kind of stuff. So it's a lot. So, as you saw with his sitting down, they're not too shabby. He's doing a pretty good job. For 2 weeks, I know there are a lot of videos that I have up of different dogs, but I want you to keep in mind, all those dogs are completely different. They have different parents, they have different stamina, they have different energy levels, they have different strengths and weaknesses, and not just in training, but in their personalities in general, where some may be very confident, almost to the point of being a little cocky, whereas others may be more reserved and rely more on people and other animals to build their confidence for them, and that sort of stuff. So they're all individual in how quickly they learn and how they need to be taught, because they each require their own little spin on some things too, which is one of the things that I love about dog training, because I have to kind of mold it to the student. Yes, but it's all about patience, and with him, he is trying his best. He has been, and he continues to try to please me. It's just sometimes in training sessions we get farther than others, and that's perfectly fine too. As far as potty training goes, he has had a few indoor accidents. It's very common, and most of it is because we switched environments on him in a very short amount of time. He came from the breeding facility and came up to the training area, so that's a different environment for him. And it's a little bit stressful too, because again, took him away from his litter mates and he came up here with me. And then once he comes home, something to expect is potty accidents are going to be normal, no matter if he was doing stellar here or not. They're going to be normal because, one, it's a new environment, new routine, new everything, so it's going to be about adjustment for him too. Even having loose stool is normal, which is why we give you some of the medications that you'll receive, because they're going to help with that. They're going to help balance out his GI tract. That way you can have some nice, solid bowel movements. But all that stuff's going to be normal. It's important to not overwhelm the puppy. For example, it's going to be so exciting getting him. It's going to be so exciting, and it's going to be hard. But if you can tell, if you can read some signs that are showing that he's fearful, for example, if he's shaking, if his tail's severely tucked and he's hunching down, anything that seems like he's uncomfortable, give him some space, even though it's going to be hard. Even if you have guests coming over to look at him, family members, because of the holidays, whatever's going on, be sure you keep him in mind, because it's so hard to get overwhelmed with excitement. We need to make sure that we also don't overwhelm him to the point where he gets cranky about it, because any dog will, any person will too. So overstimulating, just like for kids, if they get overstimulated, they start talking back, they start crying, or anything like that. So making sure that we keep just the right amount of stimulation. Yeah. He's watching the other dogs play, aren't you? Be sure to read over the manual. It's full of so many great tips and suggestions on how to continue and better different behaviors. Like I said, he is learning at his own pace. He's doing the best he can. And you guys continuing that is going to be so important and vital for his proper growth and development. So please make sure you look that over. I really am excited for you guys to meet him, because he is a sweet little guy. He can be very goofy at times.
I definitely have enjoyed working with him, and I hope you guys send pictures to show us how he's updating and how he's adjusting. Something else I wanted to mention is with his Leave It, he's doing okay. He struggles quite a bit with Leave It. He doesn't necessarily like it, but what puppy does? We are putting some food down and saying, no, you're not allowed to have that. So it's not exactly fun for them. The biggest tip when you're working with that at home, too, is when you have it on the floor, if he does go for it, just cover it with your hand, tell him, no, leave it, and try to help redirect him until he gets better and more accustomed to the idea of what it means, because here he's struggling with this still too. When he does, give him a little party, say, good, leave it, good job, and give him a bigger reward, whether it's in quantity or quality. So, for example, if I put a little piece of kibble on the ground and tell him, no, leave it, and he does, then I'm saying, good job, good, leave it, and I'm going to give him a treat that's higher value, so maybe a hot dog slice, a little piece of cheese, or I'm going to give him 6 things of kibble. So that teaches him, when I asked you to leave that, you got something even better because you listened, and then I pick up whatever he was supposed to have left, and I discard it, because I don't want him learning that he gets to have it right after I tell him to leave it, because that would be confusing. So that's something I wanted to mention for you guys to carry over too. When it comes with out is also a struggle for him at this age too, because this is the age where they're like, mine, 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 this is great, I'm awesome. So it's important to keep him in the know of, if I ask you to spit it out, I really want you to do that. So when he does have something in his mouth, always have something else to give him in exchange for it. So for example, earlier he had a stocking. We had a stocking out for some of our Christmas photos we were taking, and he found it, was so excited, grabbed it, started running around the room with it, all excited. And when I went to go get it from him, I made sure I had a treat, and I showed him the treat, I let him sniff it, and I was holding onto the thing, and I told him out, and he started letting go of it. I said, yes, good, out, and as soon as it was all the way out, I offered him the treat, and he was able to get that in exchange. So that helps him learn that out. Yes, good boy, just like that. That was not planned at all, but that was a good point. So all in all, every dog has potential, but it's just important that you guys stay consistent. And as hard as it is as a family, really try to stay on the same page for his sake. That way he has clear understanding of what you're looking for. If you guys have any questions or concerns about how you guys approach stuff, how you do the training, please let us know. Shoot us an email. We'd be more than happy to get back with you and try to help you work those out. But like I said, the manual has a plethora of information of different topics in there, and we're so excited for you guys to get him for Christmas. Say bye-bye, family.